Hello guys, today this is part 2 of the Kirishima X reader or listener AU. I didn't tell the title in the first part. I am very, very sorry. But I put it in the title of the last one. So this is part 6 to part 9. That is the last part. This whole thing is completed. So yeah, hope you enjoy. He walked into the gym like he did almost every day. Gym bag slung over his shoulder as he headed towards the locker rooms, waving at the desk staff that he knew by name at this point. "Hey man, what's up?" asking a man with bright yellow hair, a black streak running through the bangs falling away from his face. Kirishima sat down his bag on the bench as he started to change clothes. "Hey Kaminari, not much. Same old same old." His muscles ripped as he removed his shirt, tossing it aside before pulling some of his hair back in a ponytail. "Who was that chick you were talking to yesterday? And the day before that? And don't even start, bro," Kirishima said in response, ruby eyes cutting hard to the side of his friend. "I'm sorry for my dog barking." Kaminari tossed his bag into a locker before grabbing his water bottle, hands out a little defensively. "Hey man, it's just an observation. I personally think you could do better, honestly." Kirishima stopped tying his tennis shoes. "What is that supposed to mean?" "You're not a bad looking dude, is all I'm saying. You could get anyone you want." Kirishima slammed his locker shut, a little too forcefully cutting the ball short. Don't be a butthole. She's nice, okay? And she's here more often than you are, so don't even start." With that, Kirishima walked out of the locker room, leaving Kaminari behind, feeling outraged with the conversation he had just had. Kirishima out to let out some frustrations at one of the punching bags. A few people backed away as he started pounding into the bag, punches and grunts echoing an open gym room. Nothing wrong with punch. Someone trying to punch for himself. Punch, kick, intensive focus. Tune vision, hard work, punch is super manly. Punch. Are you? A voice brought him out of his daze. His hands just barely catching the swinging punching bag before it hit him right in the nose. Turning his head to the direct of the voice, he paused. It was her. Are you okay? You seem really angry at that bag." Her eyes darted from his face at the punching bag, then back again. He immediately felt embarrassed, hoping she didn't hear him getting angry towards an inanimate object. "Oh hey, yeah, I'm fine. Just letting off some steam," he said, turning to properly face her now. He hadn't known her long, but he could already tell she was less trim than when they first had her. Posture wasn't as slouched. Posture wasn't as slouched. She didn't stutter as much, and her eyes held a new kind of sparkle that wasn't there previously. She was gaining confidence, and he was happy for her. "How are you?" Not bad. Just wanted to say hi before getting started." So she gave a small wave, not giving him time to answer before darting back towards the other side of the gym. He waved at her, retreating back, not realizing he was smiling to himself. As Hiroshima took a sip of his water bottle, he felt a tap on his shoulder, prompting him to turn around and face Kaminari. His brows knit together on impulse, though his friendly expression was one of the caught him off guard. "Hey man, I don't like mean to make you mad with what I said. It's none of my business anyway. But really, though, he said, I elbowing Kirishima in the rugs. Get her number. I see the way you smile like a moron when you talk to her. Kirishima's eye widened, cheeks turning pink as he avoided eye contact as he stuttered out a response. What? I do not. Kirishima laughed. You are right now. And it's beyond obvious that she gets flustered when you're around you, musclehead. Kaminari winked at Kirishima, scuffed, and turned away, back towards the fruit weights. I think I'll think about it, Kirishima muttered with slow hesitating words, barely above a whisper. Maybe more himself than his gym buddy behind him. It wasn't that he didn't think she would say no, or that he was even denying he that she was cute and couldn't mind a date. But sometimes old and overworked bubbled up in the back of his brain. Something had always struggled with him. Now as an adult. Good luck, man. Better grab her before someone else do. Kaminari words made Kirishima look up and over across the gym at Kaminari. I like to spot the subject that current conversation, and just off to her right was a group of guys. One of them was very familiar. That guy that who Kirishima pulled off for her a few weeks earlier, who said he was the best she could do, or something along those lines. He growled under his breath, suddenly feeling very protected over someone who wasn't even dating. Without thinking, he sat down his ways, making his way across the room, wanting to watch over her from close to be by the make sure the guy isn't doing stupid. Connor looked at his friend, walked away, shaking his head with a mug look at his face. All he needed was a push. The hoarse laughter of the group of men immediately dawned on as Kirishima made his way towards them. At looked A look of determination quickly replaced by a casual embrace as he neared the woman they were just looking at, his ruby eyes darting quickly in the direction, letting them know that he was watching them. Hey, how are you doing? Listener, Listener looked up to see the redhead, a timid smile lighting up her face. Oh, it's good. You don't look as angry as you did earlier. Did you get out of your frustrations, I guess? He scratched his cheek in embarrassment, thinking back to pounding the punching bag in some bizarre attempt to defending her from Kaminari's words in the locker room. Yeah, I do feel what it it only took a split second as he looked off to the side. The roomman in the group came up behind Listener and shoved her from the back, and she toppled forward and right into Kirishima's chest as he stumbled backwards in slow motion. The listener yelled as she tumbled forwards, hands split on Kirishima's bored chest as they fell. Kirishima landing hard on his back with a thud that echoed in the large open gym. Her eyes shut tightly as she landed on top of Kirishima. Their legs tangled together, his hands gripping onto her upper arms in an attempt to stabilize their fall. As Listener opened her eyes, she was face to face with Kirishima's sweaty chest, hands on his pet, basically stranding him in front of everyone. Her eyes went scarlet as he scrambled off him, thickering with horror and embarrassment, as she ran away to safety of the women's locker room. Kirishima was basically stunned into silence what just happened. What had happened? They were talking, and then suddenly she was falling forward and sitting up from the dusty gym floor. The group of skeevy gym rats walked away across his vision. The greasy looking man looking back over his shoulder with an annoying smirk. Kirishima cursed under his breath at the realization before turning, snapping his attention back to listener. Listener ran. Dude, what happened? Kirishima brushed himself off as he got to see his feet. The grime and dust of the gym floor at the end of the day sticking to his skin and clothes. Kamina jogged over to his side after hearing a distant yelp from this direction. I noticed Hiroshima was flat on his butt on the floor. Some idiot doing something stupid, and now I gotta try and fix it. Kirishima sighed as he passed by his friend to walk towards the women's locker room when he assumed he ran off, hidden from view where he couldn't follow. Kaminari trailed close behind, wanted to see what would unfold. Stopping before the entrance of the lounge, Kirishima called out, "Listener! Listener! Hey, it's okay to come out!" He yelled, his voice echoing off the entitled walls into the room hidden from viewed around a corner. A woman came out and gave him a funky look before walking away. Though Kaminari didn't miss watching her stutter away, otherwise the entryway was silent. Are you sure she ran here in here? I mean, I don't know. Where else? Where else should it be? A curious glance around the rest of the gym, unable to view your signature. HC. Your hair color. Hair told him that was the only other place you might be outside or leaving the gym altogether. Just go in there and find her. Kirishima turned on Taylor Glare. I am not going in the women's locker room, Kaminari. He held his hands up defensively. Oh, okay. Okay. Just a suggestion, unless you want to stand out here for another hour. He called out her name again. Still no answer. Kirishima mulled over in his hand, lips rolling over to the other side of his teeth. Brows knit together in frustration. He knew you was trimmed, but it was only breaking out of your shell. As as Boho's pulling a prank on you specifically to try to embarrass you, could have been good for a built up self worth you amused over the weeks. Stay here, Kirishima, Kirishima said. One hand pointed down at the ground behind him, specifically directed at Kaminari, not unlike a stay command directly towards the dog. Looking around to make sure no one was watching, he slipped around the corner, eyes peeled and ready to bolt in case he saw something inappropriate or accident. On accident. Listener, if you're in here, just come out and we can talk, okay? It's not a big deal. He sidled along the wall slowly until something, a sniffle maybe, hit his ears. It made his heart drop. Finally peeking his head around the corner, he spotted you behind the seat of the locker sitting on a bench, your back towards him. Head bent down and out of sight, looking around, he didn't see anyone else, so he decided to make a bold move and step forward up the wall. Hey, it's alright, I promise. He was just a few feet away now, and you tensed at hearing his voice so close by, knowing by now that you've been spotted. A hand came towards to wipe your face. Another sniffle, but you still didn't turn around. Sorry. Why are you sorry? Those jerks pushed you. It's not your. Sorry for being weak. A push over a target. His words caught him in his throat as he suddenly self deprecated another sniffle. I'm not dumb. You stick by me because I'm probably like I need protecting. I'm not a strong person. I'm used to being picked on. Forgetting that he was in the women's locker room, Kirishima walked forward to stand directly in front of the listener. Kneeling down so the seat the seated line of sight was now mostly in even with his. He avoided eye contact, face puffy and red from shame and embarrassment. Hey, don't talk about yourself like that. And I just talked to you out of pity. That's definitely not true. A strong hand reached out hesitantly towards you. You jerked at the contact but didn't pull away. Completely. His console fingers grazing around the back of your hand like a feather. I like talking with you. A lot. Like, a lot. No crap. Kirishima swallowed the growing lump in his throat as he continued. And I don't ever put yourself at fault what buttholes do. Why? The question caught him off guard as you finally looked at him eyes unsteadily and uncertain. Why what? Why do you like talking to me? Aren't I boring? Unconsciously, his fingers trailed gently across your skin on your hand. Some semblance to soothe to comfort. No, no, you're not boring. Remember when you came up to me when you noticed I was down? You nodded. No one else asked how I was doing. You're the only one that caught your attention. But I see with your friends all the time. They don't? He shook his head. Only a glimmer of sadness behind his ruby eyes. They're kind of oblivious when it comes to stuff like that. Usually, I'm the one asking how they're doing, not the other way around. Before they could continue this inmate conversation, however, Kirishima heard Cornelia yell from the other side of the locker room. Dude, are you done in there? I'm trying not to get kicked out, man. There's only so many chairs I can distract at once. Kirishima told his hand away and stood up, remembering that he was indeed the women's locker room. Oh, oops. Yeah, I technically shouldn't be in here. Want to talk outside? He looked down kindly at you, head nodding in the direction and at the exit of the gym. After a few seconds, you stood up and returned your eyes surprisingly. Steady, you followed him out of the locker room as you darted quickly around the corner. You turned until it met in any wondering. About time. Oh, hi, a man with blonde hair stood outside the locker room. The guy you assumed was Kirishima's friend, keeping a lookout. With Kirishima, Matt turned quickly to lean around and whisper, He likes you, by the way. A look of innocence lit up his features before Kirishima turned around, eyes darting between his friends and listener, with a look of suspicion at your blushing face. Talk over by the switches over there. Kirishima pointed a corner fairly insulated from the rest of the gym. Yeah. It's getting late though, so I can't stay too long. Kirishima nodded. That's fine, just a few minutes. There was a kind smile again. He waited for you to step in line with him, and you did. The next few weeks were interesting. As you tried to process everything while suddenly building up your confidence, it turned out Kirishima was a bit shy when it came to expressing himself in certain situations, which you found humbling. He didn't look down on you for trying to better yourself. Instead, he supported your efforts and helped out when you needed it, when you asked for it. And progress was still showing as you continue to feel healthier and better and about yourself. When you looked in the mirror, you decided to go out and buy some new workout clothes as a treat. Something to replace the baggy t-shirts and gym shirts you wore all the time. It was a bit odd walking into the gym with no familiar clothes, but for the first time, you felt like you didn't look bad in them. They clung to you as opposed to something to hide everything. In the back of your mind, a little voice, Kirishima might notice you change your wardrobe. Oh, Kirishima noticed. You walked into the gym and looked for the familiar striking red hair. It became a routine for you to say hi and him or he to you. Unfortunately, nothing caught your eye. Maybe he wasn't there yet, or he was in the locker room, but he was always there on Thursdays, so you knew something. He'll show up sooner or later. As you're getting changed to new clothes, you took a last look in the mirror and nodded approval before walking out onto the gym floor. As you walked to the left of the treadmills, you missed Kirishima walking in on the other side. While running, you finally noticed him on the weight machines, and he was looking at you. Actually, it was more like Bentley staring. When he noticed that you noticed, he quickly looked away. You felt his face like it was on fire, but you didn't stop jogging. You could greet him when he was done, and the butterflies weren't fluttering around in your stomach. He didn't give you a glance, though. As soon as you were cooled down, cycle him got and made him way over to you. Hey, listener, how's it going? A damp towel hung across the back of his neck, his arms and chest already shiny from the sweat. Now you were the one staring. Good evening, Kirishima. I'm doing fine. How about you? You were trying not to trip over your own feet, despite the slow walking pace of the treadmill. Kirishima draped his arms over the side of the treadmill on the support bars. The added weight of the machine made you. I, I leveled him. I leveled to him now. Not bad at all. You look different today, but I can't quite place it. Looking into his rose-eyed, colored eyes, you knew he was playing around. It was obvious from previous staring that you caught his attention more than usual. He didn't look let up, though. Oh, I know, he said with a snap. You, you look confident. It suits you. His smile made the hairs of his back on the back of your neck stand up, and your cheeks felt warm. The treadmill finally stopped. Now you had nothing to distract you from the handsome man you, you known who was looking at you brilliantly. Thanks, I think. I feel not too bad today. So yeah, confidence sounds like the right word. You said with a nod. Good. Ready to start? You nodded again, knowing that with the day and your weekly routine, he would help you with more difficult workouts, making sure your form was correct and you weren't over exercising yourself. Those days always made a bit nervous because he would usually actually touch you, a hand on your back, lifting your arms to better positioning your feet properly, etc. They were never inappropriate, but just the act of him touching you gave you goosebumps. But the eyes of the next, your legs felt like jelly, but in a way you knew would pay off later. He patted you on the back reassuringly. Doing all right? He asked with a light laugh. Yeah, I'll sleep well tonight for sure. You managed to stand up with his help, steadying you as you stretched. You missed the way his eyes roamed around your arms and shoulders. Thanks again for helping me. I've learned a lot. Hey, no problem. I don't mind at all. He looked like he had something else to say. So I got a question for you. I'm sure, what is it? With that a blush you saw on his cheek. Do you know? He shook his head, rethinking his words. Would you like to hang out? Not at the gym? He went to his own awkwardness, as in, yes, the word was out of his mouth before you realized it. Your hands clamping tightly over your face of embarrassment, your cheeks burning and eyes wide. You couldn't believe he was actually asking you out, asking you to like hang out outside with you. Kirishima let out a hardly laugh that echoed in your chest. What an aesthetic answer, Albert. Alright, cool, sounds good. Are you about to head out? He asked. You nodded, hands slowly pulling away from your flustered face. Do you go to train station a couple of blocks away? Another nod. Want to walk together? You wanted to explode, but you managed to hold it together as you gave him a nod, which he returned with a wink and thumbs up. Great. Meet you by the doors when you're ready. And with that, he turned and walked away. You stared at his butt and didn't even care if anyone saw. Turns out dedication could pay off in more one ways than one. I am sorry for my stuttering and all of my mistakes that I made in this. I have like very bad talking skills since I haven't really talked to people and stuff. So, and I haven't read in a while. This is like, so yeah. Thanks for watching. The title of this um fanfic is Kirishima X Reader AU, and it is by Trashy Writer Witch. So yeah. So thanks for watching. Bye.